Yeah, so once we get the strategy mapped out, the second thing that we do is we map out the large stages of the process, right? And this is where if you have a CRM, it's already probably pre-built in there, but it's really looking at your process, your strategy. What are those key milestones that we have to hit to say the deal is on track, right? And so this is where I would say most companies have something in place. It may not be the right thing. It may not be in the right order. They're probably not tailored, but they at least have something, right? Sometimes they have a poster on their wall, right, with it, or a little, little cheat sheets on their desk. But they have something in place. So we'll usually have to tighten it up. But this is where most people have something in place, and it's going to be one of those big milestones. So, for example, I have a client that's in the construction space, right? So one of their big milestones or stages is doing a site visit. And it's great to have that in their process. They know just looking at the numbers and looking at the data that when they can get a site visit scheduled within a certain amount of time, the chances of winning the deal go up. Right. So knowing that that is a key milestone or a key stage, we built a process to say, how can we get the site visit as quickly as possible without compromising quality, right? Now, qualifying an opportunity. But again, that goes back to strategy. That goes back to looking at the data. And we realize, hey, this is a key milestone or stage in your process. Now, the other piece that we'll get into is then when we do a site visit, in this case, in this scenario, how do we actually run an effective site visit? Right? This is where we actually get into the steps piece. And I would say this is where 90% of the time companies fail. They have the stages, they look good, they sound good, they need some tweaking, but they don't have the steps. They don't have the steps for how do we run a discovery call. They don't have the steps for actually how do we hand it off from an SDR or BDR to an account executive. They don't have those many pieces in place. And so what happens is they're looking at the big stages, but they're missing so much data because we don't know what's actually working within that stage and what's not working or what needs to be fixed.
And if you're an AE walking into a site visit and nobody's told you what to do on a site visit, you've only been in and watched your boss on a few, or, like I've been that guy, and you're like, okay, so what do I do now?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, let's have a chat. I know we're supposed to, shoot the shit a little bit. I brought donuts, talk about this, talk about that. And then it's like, do you have any work for me? Is there anything I can do for you? And you're like, that's the wrong question. And it's the wrong question. And you can see in the prospect's eyes, they're like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. You're like,